All right. Hello. Welcome, everyone. We are into playoffs now. Division B West here tonight. UuuuuuuuU taking on Cosmos. Coin toss has been done. We're going to give you a quick rundown of these map selections here in just a moment. Teams are ready to get into these lobbies. So let's pop on over, take a look here. Cosmos did win that coin toss, giving first pick or map pick option to them. They are going with first pick here. In terms of these map bans coming out, Hanamura and Dragonshire banned by UuuuuuuU. On the side of Cosmos, Alterac Pass and Battlefield of Eternity taken away from the map pool here. And we are starting the night off on Infernal Shrines. Yeah, that's about it. Let's just see. Uh-oh, am I dropping frames? Oh, no. Oh, no. I hope that kind of just resolves itself in the next few minutes because it looks like my stream's dropping frames. So that's cool. Daxx, how are you? We got Daxx joining me tonight. I didn't even introduce Daxx.
Sorry, my fault on the delay. I read the time wrong, and those time zone differences. But I am doing well. I am excited. It feels like the season just started, and here we are, casting playoffs already.
Yeah. We're just about ready to get into these games here. We'll see what's going on. There's some... Oh, and I lost Daxx! Oh no, tonight is just a mess. I'm dropping frames and now Daxx just disappeared from the stream. Let me get him back up and fixed here.
That's all right. We could, as soon as we get it in the draft screen, I disappear anyway. As long as you can hear me, we should be good.
I'll just pop over to me for now. You were here temporarily, and now it's just like, you gotta just start it all off rough.
Yeah, listen, anyone that's ever tried to cast, or not even cast, but stream, and know the headaches when it comes to OBS and things like that. I don't think anyone, and one of, moving to the future, just one of the things I'm kind of dreading about even just attempting to either, solo cast or stream is just dealing with
all the background stuff of running OBS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Tonight it's just being finicky. Like, for some reason, the capture of your camera just disappeared on me. No reason. Just felt like disappearing. But you're back. We're just waiting for this lobby to finish getting taken care of here. A little bit of issues, and then we'll be getting into game number 1. Like we said, kicking it off on Infernal Shrines tonight. This map pick is Uuuuuuu's map pick here. And that will, I mean, I guess maybe they have... This is still a best of 3 for the playoffs. What's your thoughts on Infernal Shrines? I always like it as a starting map.
I like this particular map. It's not one that's, certain maps you kind of want to avoid if you're looking to close out with the domination. Towers of Doom is one of those maps. I think Tomb of the Spider Queen does the same thing. But this one, you need the macro pressure, you need the team fight, so you can kind of feel your opponents out. Nice thing about playoffs here is, these teams had faced each other already this season, kind of familiar with each other and what they did earlier in the season. But the nice thing is we might see some spice, maybe things they worked on to maybe break it out here as we work on, first round of the playoffs here.
Yeah. I just think it's a nice solid map to start a series out on. There's no, generally no shenanigans. There's nice ways to play around losing the objective. I don't know. It's just a good solid map to start on. Nothing too surprising. I love it. I'm just going to let them know. Okay, we are starting. Here we go. We're into this.
Here we go. But yeah, to your point, I mean, this particular map, I think, is like a league favorite. I think this ends up being one of the most played maps, I think, season after season, like across all divisions.
Does look like we have some frame dropping going on in stream tonight, which is really, really annoying. You gotta love when you pay for that business internet and you still get trash internet.
Yeah, I know certain other people in the community were saying that they were having issues with their internet service provider. They were dropping packets somewhere within their house or right outside of their house. I don't know, but yeah, it's frustrating for sure. And hopefully, You can
Yeah,
call. I
let
don't say
me
call and give them a piece of
let
mind,
me
but
let me just get my network engineer on this right now. Hey Scott.
yeah, this help. All right. So as we rotate into the ban phase, and Jazzy maybe tries to help her internet here, we could see maybe some target bans as a Hanzo. Big Bird does play a fantastic Hanzo, really good on this map with a scatter arrow, able to clear the shrine monkeys pretty well. Oh.
Yeah, no, that was a great ban coming out from the side of Cosmos because Big Bird's Hanzo is pretty terrifying and he's done some pretty hard carries in these games on his Hanzo, so I don't blame them.
Yeah, I've watched a few games and I see it. I'm like, oh, Hanzo is so good. And then no, like Hanzo in my hand is like a wet noodle. It's just like, you know what, I just don't do anybody any favors. But the Jazzalene band coming out did receive those nerfs, but maybe not enough, especially on a map like this where you can get to the objective ahead of time and set up and you know, Gravo Bomb just enables so many combos.
All right, second ban for Cosmos coming up here. What's it going to be? It is going to be that target ban onto UuuuuuuuuuU. They're going to take away that Artanis. Don't want to deal with those god swaps today, and I think that's a pretty common theme when facing UuuuuuuuU to see that Artanis banned out.
Yeah, and then let's see what they ban against here. Zul is still on the board. Looks like Dark Knight does play Zul pretty well. Johanna is still on the board as well, and Tassadar. All three good bans here on this map, on these shrines. All right, and we're going to see that Diva ban coming out here. You know, the flavor of the months out of those two. We would not want to deal with that. And we're going to see Cassia first pick here.
We have some people in chat asking who the bottom person is on UuuuuuuU. That's Pang. But tonight we also have a sub on UuuuuuuU. For now, Imran is coming to play where Coffee would normally be. Yeah.
Yeah, all I gotta say about that is, you know, we might see, Celestia on the Stukov and Pang picking up that ETC. Love these two. Can kind of get a lot done just to slide into the silence. You know, let's see if they pick up the Kael'thas here. They're looking for a mage that could be, you know, save themselves the ban against UuuuuuuuU here, and then a good mage on this map.
Kind of mentioned this last time we were casting an UuuuuuuU game. It might have been with you. Is that Yuna has been target banned on Artanis basically every series they've played now at this point, which has caused her to really have to expand her hero pool this season. So I feel like the Artanis ban is starting to just be almost a waste. I mean, not really, because her Artanis is like terrifying. Like the swap she hits and everything is terrifying, but it's not like she's been playing it at all because no one lets her. So
yeah, I know going in even in practice, like I know on our team, our mage player likes a particular mage, and we run practices without her. Like we just try and do other stuff, knowing that it's probably going to be banned. But you know, if they let it through, it could be, you know, now what they do? What are they flexing other people onto? But I like the combo here of the Diablo Cassia and the Kael'thas. That's 3-man combo there that can just kind of remove anybody from the game. Kael'thas having his own set of CC there. But we see the Imperius coming out. UuuuuuuuU does not want to see Stab Daddy himself here as we round off the final ban here from Cosmos.
it is going to be that Raynor being banned out. I feel like that's another hero that we have seen Big Bird on as well, quite capable of playing. But Big Bird's got a decent hero pool as well. The question is, what's Imran going to be playing tonight, as she is stepping in to fill that role for Coffee? I am familiar with Imran's hero pool since Girls Gang Squad. She's in that a lot. So Jaina or Fia are all things. Typically I see her on mages.
All right, so she's going to hold that mage. We're going to see Tychus, which is a great pickup into Diablo. ETC is going to be able to slide the silence and the boot backwards, as well as Thrall. So we see the Thrall. We're going to have the Earthquake. So my guess would be maybe Orphea getting some of that extra damage being pumped out there come level 10.
All right. I don't want to jinx it, but it looks like the Drop frames have stopped for now, hopefully.
All
Fingers
right.
crossed. Now I probably jinxed it, knock on wood, but not loud enough to freak my dog out.
All right, and we're gonna see an Uther Leoric getting picked up here for the final 2 picks for Cosmos.
I hope that we
Dave.
see Orphea here. And this is why. Because Orphea taking Eternal Feast into an Entomb Leoric, oh, it's going to be Gul'dan, basically means that he has to sit in an Eternal Feast to keep his Entomb for getting any value. It's just like such a good counter thing to grab to play around a Leoric. But we are going to see the Gul'dan getting picked up, which I'm kind of surprised about. I feel like I don't see Imran on Gul'dan as often as I do Jaina or Orphea, and both those heroes still up and available could have picked. Even the Jaina could have paired well if Pang is taking Mosh with a nice Ring of Frost Mosh combo.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Gul'dan and the poison damage or fake damage, depending on where you're at and what they call it, into the Uther, right? So he has his 2 cooldowns and the armor, but that poison damage continues to stick around and tick over time. So I like that pickup. Great wave clear out of Gul'dan. So, Tychus is going to be able to shred anybody with that trait, and they're pretty beefy there with essentially the Uther, the Diablo, and the Leoric.
Tychus just feels really strong these days. I've actually, started playing a little bit the last couple days, trying to get in those wins before the season ends, and I really like where he is right now. And I'm excited to see him, especially into Diablo. I feel like that's just like the best pickup if you're playing against the Diablos. Grab the Tychus. So anytime he just dives into your team, you just get absolutely shredded. Well, here we are, game number 1 of this best of 3 series. We are into those playoffs now. UuuuuuuuuU taking on Cosmos on the left-hand side. We have UuuuuuuuU with Yunalesca on the Thrall, Big Bird on Tychus, Slexia playing Sukov, Pang on the ETC, and Imran on Gul'dan.
All right, and on the red side for Cosmos, we have Odd Thought picking up Uther, Silver Jackal on Kael'thas, Kurama on Cassia, Legacy on Diablo, and Dark Knight on Leoric.
Silver Jackal getting that slow onto him in the early game from the Stukov.
Yeah, wanted to spray. I'm guessing that's an Odd Thought spray there, but not sure. But yeah, that great slow coming out onto Silver Jackal there. But some friendly poke coming out here. We're going to see Leoric rotate to the top lane, go ahead and get a jump start on that wave clear there as we see the rotations here mid and bot.
Now, usually in the early game, when these camps spawn in, whoever is kind of on top of the macro play here is going to get a slight advantage because they can usually pick up 2 camps in this bottom and mid lane. So we're just going to have to see here. In about 8 seconds, those camps are going to spawn in. And depending on how the lanes are sitting, we may see one team start to slightly pull ahead here.
Yeah, I like the quick rotation up there by Leoric. We're going to see the wallbang coming out onto Pang on the ETC. Big Bird going to be able to stand in there and get some extra poke damage coming out there. But, Dark Knight rotating up there to the top means he was able to rotate down to mid faster, like you said, to kind of get some of those soaks a little bit. We're going to see rotate. Yeah. They're going to trade camps here.
Definitely something that I kind of like to see in the solo laner on this map. If they can rotate down and catch the soak in that mid lane, it allows the 4-man to just kind of sit and push out bottom lane and contest that bottom camp. And we're kind of seeing both these off-laners do that right now. Thrall is heading down into that mid to catch the soak for his teammates right now, leaving the 4-man just sitting in that bottom, clearing up the wave that's there, and now they can look to contest camp while...
And that's immediately where they had maybe just peek it. Okay, I thought they were going to take it. They are all showing mid, but Yunalesca finding herself in a little bit of trouble. She's going to get the root out onto the Dark Knight, but he does have this the W onto her, kind of draining her health there a little bit, and she's a little low on mana. I'm not sure if she has tap available.
No, that was a beautiful play by Dark Knight there because he saw the rotation from Yuna there on the Thrall. And that denied her a whole wave of XP. She was only able to catch one of the XP globes from that wave that crashed underneath her gate because of Leoric stalling out the rotation there. But in the meantime, in the bottom lane, we do have UuuuuuuU picking up that siege camp. Not quite enough XP to make up for a whole wave loss, but still pretty darn even going into this first phase. We do have Leoric already starting the bruiser camp on the side of Cosmos, and it does look like the members of UuuuuuuU are thinking the same thing over here.
Yeah, I like that the cap second, it just ensures that, their camp arrives to the lane later and usually has the advantage and lives a little bit longer. But at the same time, this objective is up in 5 seconds, and, Cosmos should have the position advantage here. But Pang kind of checking that bush with Uther in it. Nobody's getting stunned here. Odd Thought pops the first objective here.
Power slide coming out from the ETC, catching a couple members of Cosmos there, but taking a little bit of damage from that. Gonna have to pop his Gladiator's medallion and is now looking to retreat a bit. Big Bird stepping up to get some damage onto Cassia, but all in all, both teams still looking pretty healthy as the Skeletal Defenders starting to get shredded down here, 12-13. In terms of numbers cap, and Kael'thas getting into a bit of trouble there. He is going to get picked off. First blood going over to the side of UuuuuuuuuU. Big Bird needing to be a bit careful as he's getting quite low, but the eyes are on Odd Thoughts as he tries to get out of here. Leoric turning around to try and get some Drain Hope out there. Doesn't quite connect, and UuuuuuuU back on this point, now currently sitting at 24 of the 40 Skeletal Defenders needed and climbing. Diablo going in for that stun onto Stukov. ETC getting quite chunked down. Fen coming out from the Cassia, almost getting the pick off to him, but he's able to stay alive, and that heal popped by Stukov going to get him back in position to continue to defend this and secure this objective for UuuuuuuU. Level 7's almost online for these teams here. There's a nice flame strike coming out from Kael'thas to pick off some of those minions as they're trying to finish off the shrine, get a little bit of damage out, but ultimately, first objective over to the side of UuuuuuuU.
Yep, and we're actually going to see Cosmos' camp finally reaching to that wall. Dark Knight's going to go up there and pressure this a little bit, but Let's got hot on his trail trying to clear this wave a little bit. May lose the front wall, which should be okay as long as she can hold on to her fountain, but she's a little low on mana, does have top available there.
They're able to get a wall out of bottom fort here, but meanwhile in that top lane, Leoric really shoving it down with the help of that Bruiser camp. They've gotten more value out of top lane just shoving with the Bruiser camp than they did out of the entire objective in the bottom lane. Yunalesca out of mana, and there's now plays for those siege camps in the mid lane on both sides here.
Yeah, I mean, Thrall is just one of those Swiss Army knife heroes who can kind of do a little bit of everything, but when it does come to clearing camps, he's not the fastest. So, unfortunately, she does save, the wall does go down, but she does save the fort there.
We're going to see Cosmos go to pick up this bottom siege camp here while Pang clears out that lane that's crashing at their wall. Yeah, the thing with Thrall is he definitely does not have very good wave clear. You end up having to use a ton of abilities if you want to clear a wave fast. So when you add a Bruiser camp into that, it's pretty easy to push into a Thrall's fort in whatever lane he's in. Especially since we're seeing Thrall trying to do some double soaking as well. And he really, really doesn't excel at that. Legacy going in for that pick onto Imran, able to flip her and stun her into the wall behind him. And down goes the Gul'dan.
Oof, yeah, unfortunately, I think kind of getting body blocked there in a little bit, and just great job by Legacy, just being able to capitalize on that. They're going to have tens here online in about a half of a second, but tens shortly after here for UuuuuuuU.
Yeah, both teams pretty even on XP. Even structures, pretty similar things going on here. Level 10's hit now for the side of Cosmos. You have that power slide going out onto Kael'thas, but not quite enough damage to follow up to do anything off of that. All 5 members of UuuuuuuU sitting in the mid lane right now, while Leoric, again, pushing that top lane. Level 10's now online for UuuuuuU as well.
Yeah, I will say Uther picking up the Divine Shield. We're going to have Pyroblast from the Kael'thas, Ball Lightning from Cassia, APOC from the Diablo, and the Entomb from the Leoric.
And on the side of UuuuuuU, we are going to have that Flailing Swipe from the Stukov, Horrify from the Gul'dan. Tyka's still holding off on grabbing that ult there. Earthquake coming out from the Thrall, and of course Mosh from the ETC. I mean, I shouldn't say of course, you sometimes see stage dive, but in this case it is going to be Mosh. Does look like both teams making a play for their Bruiser camps before they go into this next objective here, so that they have those to clean up. But, a lot of members of UuuuuuuU going for that Bruiser camp, whereas on the side of Cosmos, they're leaving members behind to get a little bit more soak in these lanes. It's going to get them just, there's the Mosh coming out from ETC. The Shred is on that Diablo, the Tychus, but they're going to be...
Yeah, there, we're going to see the Entomb coming out. Oops, sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. Cassia getting quite low there. Pang trying to finish her off. She does pop her ult, trying to keep herself alive there, but she does fall a 1-for-0 so far in this engage that Shrine up and available to start up now. And look at this top lane. This is crashing onto the side of Cosmos, shoved forward nicely here, but that means the towers are going to help clear up this camp.
All right, and just taking a peek at Quest here as they rotate onto this. We're going to have Uther at 52 of the 60 stacks on W at 1. We're going to see Kael'thas just 1 globe away from getting that shield. And 28 out of 40 stacks on the Corruption build for Gul'dan.
We are seeing Cosmos just go for value elsewhere on the map, realizing they've lost this objective. They're going to pick up that siege camp in the mid, as well as the siege, or both siege camps in the mid, I should say, and maybe even look at that bottom siege camp as well. Leoric and the rest of the team soaking the entire time, so they are a bit ahead on XP now as this Punisher pushes down top lane. The question is are they gonna defend this one, or are they thinking about maybe trading forts here?
Unit is there by herself, showing on the wave. We're going to see them rotate up there. They're going to have to deal with this. This is a frozen Punisher. Going to be able to shut down the forts and the walls here. And this will be a fort gone in favor of UuuuuuuuuU here. First fort structure of the game at 9 minutes.
I was scared for a second. They had a flank set up here. We do have that APOC coming out, but the Punisher interrupting it with a knockback from ETC, making him not able to flip anyone into that APOC. Power slide going out onto the Leoric. He's going to pop that Gladiator's medallion to make his way out of there. And the member is starting to retreat here, come back around to defend this from behind the gates. That Frozen Punisher coming out, leaping on to Dark Knight and Kurama as they defend it here. This looks like they're going to lose this front wall of the top keep, but that's about it off this Punisher. They did manage to take the fort, mind you, as well. So UuuuuuuuU now pretty much caught back up on XP and now up on structures as well.
All right, and I'm guessing they're telling Leska they are rotating onto her there. I thought Leoric was going to look for the Entomb there, but decided against it. And, what if that was a scary, like you said, that was a scary flank attempt by Cosmos there. Unfortunately, John Cena not having any part of that and kind of foiled their plans there. So we were very lucky on the time.
There is going to be a fight over this bottom camp, though. Diablo goes in for the wall stun onto Thrall. Lots of damage going out. Cassia dropping the ball. Lightning. Thrall does go down. Pyro coming out as well. That's going to connect onto the Stukov, who ends up dying before it even hits him. But not for free. Kael'thas goes down here as well. We have that Uther ult being popped here. Kurama getting quite low by Big Bird. He is looking to make it out of there, and is he going to survive? It does look like he's out to safety, but now a couple members of UuuuuuuU getting stuck in here. Big Bird going to fall here. A 3-for-1 in this fight, which is, Leoric topped the entire time, a 5v4, and UuuuuuuU couldn't quite make it work out just because they were a little bit late. A couple members getting there on the rotation before Stukov and Thrall got too chunked.
Yeah, that was a 3-man mosh pit. Pang getting onto that capture pad within, I'd say, a half of a second of it being captured there. Unfortunately, not being able to turn that around. Celestia going down and not being able to channel that E to really help that situation there on that mosh pit.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. You really need to make sure that you have your tank with you to kind of ward those bushes when you're going for neutral camps like this, or at least be a way to help zone off an invade. It becomes really dangerous when it's just a 2 squishy DPS and the healer. And then we have a combo coming out onto Pang here. He is going to power slide out of there, but he goes down. Tychus in the mid right now.
Combo coming out there by Legacy.
Yeah, Legacy's Diablo, really terrifying. I'm really surprised we didn't see that as a ban going into this phase, because I am sure that Slexia is familiar with Legacy's hero pool as their friends, I believe. There he goes again for that wall stun onto Big Bird here, and the follow-up damage from Kael'thas going to secure the kill there once again. So these deaths really starting to stagger for the side of Cosmos. Level 16's online now for Cosmos.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Uther, is a main staple for him. 66% win rate so far this season on Uther. There's something to be said about a point-and-click instance you see being paired with the Diablo. I mean, he even went Divine Shield just to protect their team a little bit, solo heal Uther. But great combos coming out on the side. They have a 2-level lead rotating here on the... This is the third, I think, Punisher of the game, as we see some camps being taken here. Not in time for Dark Knight, but he's going to be able to clear this a little easy. I was going to say maybe they rotate on here, maybe try and get the gank, but they're going to rotate down here as the objective gets started here.
This looks like they're also going to pick up that siege camp on the side of Cosmos before heading over to this objective as well. They've got a little head start on these skeletal defenders, already sitting at about 15 of the 40 needed and climbing. Now UuuuuuuuuU here for the fight as well. Level 16's out. APOC comes out, but the combo does not connect. Does look like they've managed to catch Cassia in that mosh. The Uthir all coming out to save the Kael'thas. We now have that Pyro interrupted though. Meanwhile, does look like ETC going to be the first one to fall. Now Unileska going in to try to get the finish onto Kael'thas, but ends up paying for it with her life. Big Bird getting chunked here as well. Looking to retreat. We have that flailing swipe coming out from Slexia to peel for a team, but 2 for 1 in favor of Cosmos here on this objective. And check out mid. Nice pressure going in onto that fort right now. And same thing happening top on the side of Cosmos. They have a bruiser camp with a Kata pushing on to their keep.
Yep, and we have this Mortar Punisher pushing, like you said, on keep here. They're going to rotate mid to seal the deal on this fort here as, Leoric peels off to clear what is going off on top. And we are 10 seconds away from the remaining members of UuuuuuuuU going to be up here to help defend for their team. And I think it's just a race to 20 now.
Yeah, and Cosmos winning that race right now. Interested to see what they do. There's not very much health left on this Punisher. If I was the side of Cosmos right now, I would just be looking for where I can safely find that level 20 without getting caught having to take a team fight before that. So maybe rotating down onto that bottom camp a little bit earlier. They're still going to go for it, but the thing is I'm sure that UuuuuuuuU is aware of where they're going to be. There's only a couple places on the map right now for them to be in. It's this bottom camp and their bruiser camp.
Yeah, and UuuuuuU's inching over, ever so closely onto Cosmos' side of the map. And like I said, I don't think that's where they want to be, but this is, where they have to be here as 20 inches closer. We're going to see all ults online here as we look for this team fight here. Pang doing a great job getting vision and warding as the team heads to this front keep. Ping's going to come out here. He's going to let Legacy walk in here, but he's going to slide onto, just a boop onto Legacy there. Get the reset on that mosh pit.
So they really kind of need to take a fight here, else they're going to be waiting quite a long time before level 20s are online. There's a chance that if they just try to soak it out, they're not going to find that level 20 before next objective spawns in here, meaning that they're going to lose next objective and potentially the game, depending on how it plays out. So Pang sitting up in this bush right now, hoping to catch someone on the rotation, hoping to find that fight that they need. Yuna is going to get caught here, gets wallbanged by the Diablo, stun comes out, and she's just absolutely blown up by the members of Cosmos, and now they're on the retreat here as they are down a member for this fight. Pang coming out with a power slide, Pyro out onto him from Kael'thas. Doesn't look like he has the health to survive this one. We're going to see the ETC fall here as well. 2 members for nothing in that fight.
Yep, and let's see. I thought I was going to see a rotation up there to top, but that's what we're going to do to clear that out here. And we may see a keep down here in 40 seconds, but on ETC, but 30 on the Thrall here. So we may see a core call here now that 20s are online.
Got another 10 seconds until the Thrall spawns in, and another 20 seconds for the ETC here. So I don't know if they're going to go for the core, but at least they've opened up this map. Next Punisher is spawning in the mid here. They're looking like they're in a pretty good position to win it at this point. They have their fort still in the mid. They have that healing fountain to fall back to tap up and re-engage over next objective that UuuuuuuuU does not. And they have that level 20 talent tier advantage as well.
Yep, and it's going to be an arcane shrine, so it's got those limbo bars going to be spinning around there a little bit, so not necessarily too much to worry about. It's still a Punisher on the core post level 20 here, but they are still a level away as we see Cosmos pressuring up here to maybe get down to the second keep of the game.
All right, here's that objective coming up now. Level 20 is still not hit for UuuuuuuU going into this. I'm curious to see, are they going to try and soak that level 20, look to defend potentially, or still contest if they have time, or are they going to try and take this fight down a talent tier? Pang stepping up. He is going to get flipped and stunned by the Diablo. It looks like they're going for that fight down the level 20 talent tier, trying to make it work for them. They have that Earthquake coming out. It's going to connect onto a couple members. Pang goes in for the power slide onto Leoric, who pops his Gladiator's Medallion. Is going to back up and be able to survive here. Earthquake's still out on this objective. Lots of ults still up in a bit. Here's the APOC combo from the Diablo. That's going to catch Tychus here, followed up by the Kael'thas damage, and he's stuck in that Entomb, but a big mosh coming out from Pang. We are going to see him fall for that, though. And unfortunately, level 20 not quite grabbed for him there, because he did take the Death Mosh, or Death Metal at 20, but unfortunately not quite grabbed before he goes down. What a 1-for-1 so far. Imran now getting chased down by Diablo. Team coming into Peel 4, and the Punisher secured by Cosmos. These members need to fall back, get healed up, and ready for the defense without their tank. It's so unfortunate. Like, it was like he died at the exact moment of getting 20, so he didn't get the death metal off. But if he had the death metal off, maybe that would have went completely different.
Yeah, that was, I mean, Celestia had a great swipe on Cosmos into the mosh pit. It was a fantastic combo there. But like I said, unfortunately not being able to seal a deal with the pressure here, as we see the Arcane with Imran on the Gul'dan has a ton of clear on this, but the jump going to come out from John Cena halfway down onto this Dark Knight, getting really low. We're going to see the flailing swipe going to come out, but Celestia is going to eat all of those lightning balls, unfortunately, as we are wailing down. Shield's gone. Court is at 80%. The rest of the team down here in the bottom trying to finish this off. Ping is looking for a slide to boob, getting John Cena to jump back off of the core here. Great job getting aggro onto that as the core does hit 40%. Leo is doing the best he can, silencing everything underneath the key. The core. 20% of fear coming out, and down goes Dark Knight, 8% and counting, down to 7%. 5 pings coming out onto the core. 3, 2, 1, and game 1 going over to Cosmos.
GG's and well played.
What a game. Yeah, that came down. Like you said, if he was able to pick that 20 or just held off a couple seconds, I think we're maybe talking a different ending to that game.
Yeah, I'm wondering too. I mean, if I remember correctly, hang on, I bookmarked it. So last time that UuuuuuuuU took on Cosmos, their games were pretty close, but Cosmos ended up 2-0ing. Or sorry, UuuuuuuU ended up 2-0ing Cosmos. But here's the thing. Both games they played, they banned out this Diablo. This time they're letting it through, knowing that Legacy is very competent, very strong Diablo player. And I'm wondering if they're doing that because they thought maybe having the Tychus pickup would be enough to deal with it. But I think going forward, I'm not going to be surprised if they go back to their strategy of the first, when they played Cosmos in the regular season, of banning that Diablo. I think that Legacy's Diablo is incredibly difficult to play against. He is able to position himself to get wall bangs for days, even if he has to. It just didn't matter. However he played it, he was going for those combos every time. And I feel like it needs to be a target ban coming out from UuuuuuuU if they want to grab the next game here.
Yeah, I mean, he was able, like you said, he was able to, even with the Uther and the Kael'thas, had 2 more forms of CC just in that 3-man. So even if he didn't get the wallbang, he can Q in and get the flip. And as long as Uther or Kael'thas were there, whatever hero that it decided to target was pretty much done.
Yeah, the other thing I'm a little bit surprised about is Slexia's pickup on Stukov. We've seen her play a lot of Brightwing, Anduin. No, Deckard. Stukov, I haven't seen her play as frequently, and they went ahead and picked that as one of their first picks, so I'm not really sure what they were going for with the Stukov, because I do feel like her just sticking with that Brightwing pickup might have paid off better for a team here, especially into a Pyroblast Kael'thas.
Yeah, I think they just needed a little bit more sustain. I mean, I like the idea of it was going to be to pick up the ETC slide into this, the silence and the Tychus, but pairing that with the Gul'dan maybe just wasn't enough burst, to seal the deal on the kill. Uther was able to sustain, and with that divine shield, just keep the members up long enough to win some of those team fights.
All right, we did have a raid coming in from Shadinus there in a last couple minutes, so I do appreciate that. I hope you had a fantastic stream and a follow as well from Victor. Thank you so much. I do have those alerts turned off just because they're a bit annoying and disruptive when we're casting, but I appreciate it. And we do have that next lobby up and ready to go here, so let's take a look at these map selections in just a moment once I update them and the score for you guys. We'll be looking to get into game number 2 here. So I can let you know, we are going to Towers of Doom.
All right.
I don't know who picked this, but I have a feeling might be, I don't know. We'll just have to see. It might be... We're going to find out in just a second. But here, we'll pop over to this map selection screen for you guys, give you the rundown of how we got where we're going. And I have to update the score still.
Yeah, so yeah, having my guess. Okay, so Team 1 does get the first team draft. I was going to say, my guess is looking at the hero pools and knowing kind of both these teams. I figured, the double soak game with Dark Knight on the Leoric. We showed him last game, but playing a lot of Zul this season as well. But excuse me, Coffee not being here, they don't have to worry about banning the.
Well, he's back for this game.
Okay, he is back. Then they got to worry about.
He was running late today, so they had Imran come in. She's their sub for UuuuuuuuuuU, so they had Imran come in, but he's ready to play now. So he is in this next game, going into game number 2, it looks like. So let's just give you a quick rundown. If you guys didn't catch earlier, we did have Hanamura, Dragonshire banned out by UuuuuuuU, Alterac Pass and Battlefield of Eternity banned out by Cosmos. Game number 1 was picked, the map picked by UuuuuuuU on Infernal Shrines, but the win picked up by Cosmos. We are looking to get into game number 2. This time, map pick coming out from Cosmos, bringing us to Towers of Doom. And we are ready to go. Teams are looking for that ready, so I'm going to let them know we're good to go. We can get into game number 2 here. Hopefully we go to a game number 3, because I always love game number 3, so...
That's why we are all here. Everyone wants to see a game 3, especially in the playoffs. Gives the other team sitting in the chat. I saw some discussions going on about the scouting. That's one thing that I try and do myself. Is you can see what they play and all this other stuff, but until you see how impressive some of these people, these players are on certain heroes. It really strikes the fear into some people. So let's see. My guess is probably a Diablo ban. This is a good Diablo map. And to see that respect ban come down on the Legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Diablo just needs to be taken away. Legacy's Diablo is just so strong. Diablo being already in a good spot meta-wise, it's just not worth it to leave it up for him.
Yep, there it is. Now, this one's not too bad. I mean, Coffee does play the D.Va, so they may not have to ban it. Gazlo... That's here nor there. I mean, this could be a decent Gazlo map, but like I said, Grab-A-Bomb does set up a ton of potential for wombo combos. But I've seen a lot of Gazlo in the 4-man here, so even if they do put someone on the double soak duty, we can see Gazlo in the 4-man setting up turrets and all that good stuff. And then Coffee in the game, not to be surprised there, Kel'Thuzad ban coming out.
Yeah, these bans, it'll be a little bit more interesting because Coffee is known for some of those combo heroes that can be really oppressive, such as the Kel'Thuzad, Alarak, Kerrigan, all things that Coffee enjoys playing. So now the draft, or at least the draft of Cosmos, is going to change a little bit here now that Coffee is ready to play in these games.
All right, and that Cassia as well getting banned, not wanting to deal with Infinite Ball Lightning come level 20. Kind of really screws with the team fight when you're getting a lot of stuff done.
I'm curious how much scouting each of these teams have done, because you're saying the Uther had like a 60-something% win rate in NGS this season, or just in general.
Mm-hmm. So that is Odd Thought this season on Uther, 66.67% and higher now because of the first game there. But we will see Coffee picking up the Gazlo.
All right, that leaves D.Va still up and available as well. It is going to be the Lunara locked in by the side of Cosmos. What's the second pick going to be here? We're going to see some repeat picks from last game.
Yep. I mean, and again, Lunara, talk about comfort picks here. But Lunara, same win percent, 66.67% for Karama on the Lunara, getting a little bit of touch here in the last patch. A little bit burstier than normal, but we will see Dark Knight on that Imperious. Maybe thinking Gazlo is the offlaner, not putting too much thought into, the double soak. Could be just an early pickup. Main tank Imperious here.
And we are going to see Yuna picking up that Kael'thas at this point in the draft. I like this pickup if that's what she wanted to get, because that's also we saw the Kael'thas getting picked up by Cosmos in game number 1, so it's a bit of a denial. Plus, more comfort pick for Yuna here. Big Bird also getting his Hanzo, which is another kind of big deal for UuuuuuuuU.
Yeah, I mean, he can poke forever. Like I said, UuuuuuuuuU getting the Kael'thas, the tight choke points here for just Living Bomb to spread and kind of be a nuisance. But we could see, we could see Dragon Strike, Phoenix. There's a wombo combo potential already on the side of UuuuuuuuU. I'm
worried for UuuuuuuuU though right now. Their draft is very squishy. You have an Imperius who can basically just like queue in and 1v2, 3, 4 squishies sometimes, depending on how many he stuns. So it is looking a little bit scary for the side of UuuuuuuU. But I will say, if they're expecting to put Imperius in the offlane, he is not that great at wave clear. So this possibly is a main tank Imperius we're seeing here. Although I'm pretty sure Legacy is their tank player, so we're just going to have to see how that plays out. But if they have Gazlo, and there's a Brightwing denial coming out.
Yeah, so I still expect Legacy to be doing maybe a swap with Dark Knight, unless if Legacy does swap. But we're going to probably see the Imperius queue into the Tassadar wall and the Brightwing polymorph. And then the rest of the Lunar stuff. But Stukov again putting some emphasis on it this time. Brightwing did get taken away from Selexia. But again, we're going to see a Gravo Bomb into some silence shenanigans. ETC is still on the board work from last time. Was murdered this time.
All right, last pickup here for the side of Cosmos. Is it going to be that main take Imperius, or are we going to see Imperius in the off lane? Either way.
All shall suffer.
So yeah, I expect a swap, maybe a swippity swap here. Yep, there we go. There is the swap. So main tank Imperius and the double soak Leoric. So Uuuuuuuuu's gonna, my guess, have the best wave clear to rotate mid to catch some of that soak for the team.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how exactly Gazlo and Leoric match up with each other in those mid and top lanes. I'm still very nervous for UuuuuuuU going into this game, because they just, again, even once I get into these team fights, this is my issue with, having something like a Gazlo or what are some other like bruisers that aren't really beefy at all as your in your team. Yeah. They don't really provide another body for your team, and it suddenly becomes a little scary in these fights. You can see people start to fall very quickly. Here we are, game number 2 of this best of 3 series between UuuuuuuU and Cosmos. We have UuuuuuuU on the left-hand side with Coffee on the Gazlo, Slexia on the Stukov, Uuuuuuuuuska on the Kael'thas, Big Bird getting his Hanzo, and Pang on his Muradin.
All right, and on the red side, trying to repeat history, we have Cosmos here. We have Kurama on the Lunara, Oddthought on Brightwing, Silver Jackal on Tassadar, Legacy on Imperius, and Dark Knight on Leoric.
Yeah, I'm kind of favoring Cosmos draft going into this game, but we do have a couple comfort picks over on the side of UuuuuuuU that'll maybe kind of help out here. I'm not sure how much I've really seen Coffee play Gazlo either, so I'm a little interested to see how that plays out. I know he's been a bit nerfed now, and I personally feel like he's just back to be he's just Gazlo at this point, not like he's like super OP and dominating in some of these games. It can kind of come down to whether he lands some really nice Gravo bombs or not, but we're just gonna have to see here.
Yep, so he is going big game hunter, so it looks like most likely the turret build for Coffee here, but I'm curious on what they're going to do with the mid lane here. We're going to see the rotation up, maybe getting some vision on the camp as that pops up. And I do like that both teams do have their own version of vision here.
A lot of questing talents at level 1. We do have Muradin talenting into Perfect Storm, as well as Kael'thas taking Mana Addict, and Hanzo going with Redemption here, so he's going that auto attack build. We do have both teams picking up their siege camps in the bottom lane here, almost at the same time. And also Tassadar, I mean, this is pretty standard, going with that static charge at level 1.
All right, and Coffee doing a pretty bang-up job keeping up with Leoric here a little bit on the wave clear, but that will change with Neopescence at 4. Leoric gets extremely quicker at the double soak game there.
Yeah, I'm interested to see whether it's going to be enough or not, or how that's going to change once level 4s are hit in those off lanes. Both teams managing to clear out those siege camps in the bottom lane here, though. Legacy going in, landing that stun onto Murden. He's going to jump over that wall that Tassadar puts down to safety here and step back and let his trait start to heal him up a bit. Let's take a quick peek here at that XP total. We do have Leo slightly ahead of Gazlo, but he's going to catch that mid wave, and now pretty even, both a little over 2,600 XP soaked. Leo now breaking 3K, but that's going to quickly climb as Gazlo soaks his lanes as well. In terms of XP, both teams pretty even. Cosmos slightly ahead, but nothing that UuuuuuuuuU can't make up here.
Yep, and Coffee will have to be careful. He's, you know, like I said, another one of those bruisers that can find himself kind of in a pinch if it comes to a gank there.
Yeah, that's another thing too. You're playing like Azul is another hero that I was thinking of. You're playing something like that. You're much easier ganked as well in the off lane. We are going to see a 4v4 down here on this bottom altar in a trade happening in the top between Leoric and Gazlo for the turrets up there. Pang's getting quite chunked, though, by the members of Cosmos, getting quite low. Looking to jump on out of here as Legacy goes in for the stun. It does not connect. He is going to just sit back, let his trait heal him up. Stukov dropping a heal onto him as well. Legacy stepping forward, looking to try and find something here, and Gazlo is here for the interrupt, but Odd Thought channeling that altar. Is he going to manage to get it off? And he does tap the altar, making the score 32 to 36 in favor of Cosmos. No one dies here either.
Grab that one. Yeah, no deaths here, really close. I think if Legacy didn't have the medallion there, you know, he would have been done for, because I think Pang was looking to land that Q there. But, you know, Coffee unfortunately having to rotate down there to help the team out, missing about 2 waves of soak there for the team. Now about 1,000 down.
We do have UuuuuuuuU picking up their siege camp. Same thing happening over on the side of Cosmos here. Meanwhile, Coffee looking like he's fallen up behind a little bit with this soak, trying to chase down Leo in the top lane because that mid wave is crashing and members from the 4-man going to have to rotate up here to catch that soak for him, meaning that the siege camp in the bottom lane looking like it might be cleared up a little bit easier for Cosmos here.
Yeah, Pang catching Legacy in the little hidey hole there. Not going to be able to get the gank. The stun coming out onto Legacy, interrupting that Q. So great gravity lapse coming out from Lunaleska, but getting chunked down by Lunara there. We're going to see the blink. We're going to see the Z coming in. Pang does not have jump available. Polymorph coming out. Q coming out from Tass. That our Legacy is sticking to him like a band-aid, and he's going to be able to leap out of there. And redemption done already. Pretty 5 minutes in here.
You have these next altars spawning in about 15 seconds here, but it does look like Gazlo starting to struggle now that Leoric has that level 4 to help him clear these waves. He's just getting behind too frequently. And I think he's trying to do 2 waves of soak before rotating, and that usually ends up meaning that you miss a bit of XP off of the wave that crashes under your wall. We do have a bit of a fight happening down here. Karamu getting stunned by the Muradin. He does pop that Gladiator's medallion to try and get out of there. We also have the first blood drawn already. Tassadar falling here. Yuna starting the channel on this bottom altar.
They're going to finish that bot one, but they're going to rotate back onto this 9's online here. So they are ahead. UuuuuuuU is, I'm sorry, in the race to 10 here.
All right, there we go. 2 altars going over in favor to UuuuuuuU, and as you're saying, they're now slightly ahead on that XP with that pickup here, 32 to 28 in terms of score in favor of UuuuuuU. We do have that stun coming out from Legacy. Pang getting quite chunked here, but not for free. Kuramo on the Lunara also getting quite low, having to back up a little bit here. We have that phase shift coming out from Brightwing to heal up Legacy. Pang walking into this bush and finding that Imperious once again. Just trying to look to stack his baseline and level 1 quest, it looks like here. Gazlo's going to go for this top camp here, which means we're going to need to see some of... we are going to see Hanzo rotating mid to catch the soak for him. But is he going to get caught on this camp? Because Leoric is making a beeline straight for the camp. Let's see how this plays out here. He's got 4 turrets dropped, now 3 as Leo picks up that turret. And he is going to be able to grab this camp and walk away here.
Come up here. We're going to see the Wraith Walk, coming out from Dark Knight. But like you said, just getting chunked down because unfortunately he leaves his body there.
Yeah.
And the turret's kind of doing the work there for him.
Level 10's hit now for both teams. We're going to see them both capping that siege camp almost at the exact same time once again. In terms of what we're seeing from the side of UuuuuuuuU, it is going to be a massive shove coming out from the Stukov this time. Dragon's Arrow from the Hanzo. Grab-O-Bomb being picked up by the Gazlo. Phoenix from the... Hang on just a second. Before I keep going here, let's see what happens in this fight. Well, Phoenix getting picked up by Kael'thas and Avatar from the Muradin. A little bit of damage being traded back and forth as they clear out these siege camp in the bottom lane.
Okay, and on the side of Cosmos, a Leaping Strike by Lunar, Emerald Wing by the Bright Wing, Black Hole, don't see that very much, Angelic Armament.
I've actually been seeing it
Entomb.
more often than Archon recently with the
Arrow.
Polymorph going out onto Pang here. Black Hole coming out. He's able to Dwarf Toss out of there and avoid that, though. Big Bird jumping over the wall, but it's not going to save him because that Leaping Strike sticking on him here. Coffee rotating down to try and help out his team. Odd Thought's getting quite low. He throws out the stun to try to catch them. Doesn't quite work out. He needs to be careful. He's now way out of position. The rest of his team has retreated, leaving him alone. Is he going to be able to wiggle his way out of this one? Pang has tapped and is coming back in to help heal.
Pang is coming back in. Here comes the Grab-O-Bomb onto 2 members and the stun on top of the Entomb going to come out there by Dark Knight to help heal and create a wall. Legacy going to queue out. Pang isn't done yet, looking to get in there and get his own queue, but the stall, stun, and the wall bang coming out onto Dark Knight there, and a 1-for-1 trade.
Well, Hanzo did go down much earlier in the fight, though, but he is back up now. But it looks like it is going to be Cosmos turning this one around. Hanzo back around to try and poke this down, but at this point, it's a 2v4 in this bottom lane. I don't think they want this. Yeah, no, I've actually... Black Hole seems to be the go-to pick for task players now. I don't see Archon picked nearly as often in these games with the patches happening and everything that's gone on. So, not too surprised there.
I think it does have a ton of combo potential, can disengage with the best of them there. So I like it. I like it. Just like I said, normally just kind of see an Archon into a lot of it for the siege damage and so on and so forth. But yeah, love to see it.
I think, too, we kind of got a peek at what Uuuuuuuu's trying to go for here. If they can land that Grab-O-Bomb with the silence underneath from Stukov, follow it up with a Dragon's Arrow Pyro on top of it, that is going to make for a devastating wombo combo onto Cosmos if they can manage to play that out. We do have that siege camps up once again. Both teams looking to grab those here. You have UuuuuuuU a little bit behind this time, so we might see an invade coming out here by Cosmos if they want to go for it, but it looks like they're going to be able to grab their camp just fine here.
Yep, 13's online for both teams. Pang and Legacy both having the same idea to sit in this bottom bush with the stun and the silence coming out onto Legacy. He does have to peel back away. Big Bird does finish Redemption again here, so the auto attack's getting faster and faster for him. Pang getting shrunk down, doesn't have long to stand there, but Legacy going to get the double Q, but the well-timed Gravity Lapse coming out. We're going to see the stun, the Polymorph, and the Black Hole out onto Pang. Unilever can get caught in the Black Hole. Pang's going to be able to leap away. We're going to see the Phoenix going to kind of come out. Legacy getting awfully low, but does hit a 2-man impale and not being able to capitalize on that. And a 1-for-0 trade in favor of UuuuuuuU.
Now these fights so back and forth. Stun landing by Muradin, though, and here comes Coffee trying to help out. Big Grab-O-Bomb coming out. That's going to connect onto a couple members with silence underneath. Are they going to manage to get Odd Thought here, though? They have that bomb out, but fortunately able to pop the spell armor and heal, and he does stay alive here. That altar being channeled now by UuuuuuU. This is going to make the score 24-28 in favor of UuuuuuU. But Cosmos not down here. Look how close they have this bottom keep to falling. It's not going to take much to really turn this game around if they can control this bottom lane. Stun going out onto Lunara. Pang getting polymorphed. He's going to have to leap on out of there. And Tassadar is starting to come online too. You can just see every time that Q connects, Pang's health is just chunked.
Yeah, I just took a peek there. He is at 130 stacks of the 200 stacks, so well on his way to finishing that. We're going to see Kael'thas getting 17 globes, and down goes Pang. So Unilever almost done with the shield quest and 18 on the Perfect Storm.
We do have Cosmos well on their way to hitting level 16s first over UuuuuuuuuU, so I expect to see them take control of this bottom keep here and maybe look to get 16 and then just stick in this bottom lane and control this tower. Do you have the members going up to soak mid? Jazzalene capping that top siege camp, going to get a little bit more damage onto this top lane if Leor cannot clear out the lane fast enough. Already have almost the entire wall down, a little bit health left on this tower. So depending on how quickly Leo can clean this up here, they might do a little bit of damage to this top bell tower.
Yeah, I don't think it's the end of the world if they give up the bottom one here on the side, but like Coffee has to get there and at least get turret set up to help cancel that. But we're gonna see Tassadar get picked off here, as they try and defend bot here.
Yeah, Avatar being popped by the Murden as well. They're looking to try to take this back here, but they need to be careful. Pang stepped away here, and that's just Legacy's cue to go on in there and try to find a pick. Lunara stepping up to put a little bit of damage on. Now they're looking pretty chunked going into this next altar phase here. It does look like they want to make a play for this mid one as well instead of just going for the top two. So they are having to filter in through this choke point, which makes it a little bit harder, especially facing a Leoric who's just going to queue into all you. Odd Thought getting the channel on this altar. It is going to go over to the side of UuuuuuuuU. Meanwhile, in the top, Coffee delaying the right-hand side turret, unicapping the left-hand side, and there is a bit of a fight happening over here, and Tomb going out onto Coffee. Odd Thought trying to start the channel, but the turret here to interrupt. We have the gravel bomb coming out and connecting onto Legacy. He's going in, trying to get healed up, get some damage back. They do get that pick onto Gazlo, but not for free. Imperious goes down as well. Odd Thought on the Brightwing looking quite low here, backing up. Are they going to give this one over, though? That's the question here. Silver Jackal's going to pop that black hole, but Pang's jumped in through that, trying to get some damage out here from UuuuuuuU. It's just a very, very scary spot to fight through with. Oh, Dragon's Arrow connecting on there. They're going to get that.
Stun down goes Odd Thought there on the Brightwing. Silver Jackal is going to be able to just stand in here and queue in this tight choke point.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
going
to say. It's such a scary spot for them to fight in because you just have Silver Jackal like every few seconds shooting a Q down the entire thing and chunking all four members of UuuuuuuU. They're going to call boss here. This is a little... No, they're good. They're good. There's two members now. They got time.
Freshly down at Imperious. Yeah, Imperious is up now. Unfortunately, they were able to cap 2-1 on those towers there, but missing 2 shots altogether because they still don't have bottom. But well on its way, Coffee is down there taking care of that for the team. Boss getting taken on the side of UuuuuuuU, and 4 more shots. And we might see the momentum swing over here in favor. Big Bird going to check out this little bit, going to chase off the team. The slow coming out from Selexia and the silence. I thought maybe we were going to go for a route there, but the invade is happening and it is real.
Yeah, this game, all of a sudden, the momentum a little bit swung over in favor of UuuuuuU here, able to cap those those altars, score in their favor, and now stealing Bruiser Camp. Look at this damage being pumped out onto Legacy. He's going to power up Angelic Armaments. To keep himself alive here, looking to dump a little bit of damage over onto UuuuuuU. But all 5 members of UuuuuuuU in this bottom lane now, trying to shove it down. They do have a siege camp that they could retreat back to pick up here. It might be a good idea for them just to avoid fighting and look to get level 20s first at this point, because they are much, much closer to hitting it than Cosmos is right now.
The altars rise again.
All right. And we are back down to the 4v4. Coffee's going to go up there and try and catch those sappers if he could. One of them goes away to finish off the top wall there. But Coffee doing a great job on aggroing those little buggers. He's got about 10 seconds to rotate up onto this.
Well, here's the thing. Cosmos is looking like they're going to be pretty late to this objective because they're stuck around bottom to clear out those sappers. So this means that the channel already happening on the side of UuuuuuuU, and they are positioning to also contest the altar on the right-hand side. Now, I don't know whether I agree with this call because they could easily just give this one and soak 20 and try to take a fight on with an advantage instead of fighting on equal talent tiers. Because at this point, if they lose this fight, it's an opportunity for Cosmos to kind of come back.
And there is the combo. We're going to see the arrow coming out under the gravel bomb, and down goes 2 members of Cosmos. Odd Thought doing the best he can on the Brightwing, but a leap coming in from Pang the Q, going to stand there, and down goes Brightwing as well. And a 3-for-0 trade, and the second cap going over to UuuuuuuU here.
You have done well.
Yeah, there we go, and this is going to bring the score 6-23 in favor of UuuuuuuU here. Another couple altars capped, or maybe if they can manage to take some bell towers in this game, going to be wrapped up for them here. But this is Towers of Doom. This is the comeback map. Cosmos is definitely not out of this one yet.
Now, this one is over. I know, as our friend of NGS say, Weenus until the fat Weenus sings. This map isn't over, but Ping not going to be able to land the Q, but does have the rewind to get the second Q. And this root coming out onto Kurama, and Ping is going to finish off that kill, and that is a staggered death. Leoric is up now. Pang getting off, taking that 8% damage out, but they are able to take that bottom bell tower for the team here as the sapper camps are up. Are they going to take those as well and try and shove those in? Kind of put Cosmos in between a rock and a hard place here.
I mean, at this point, if they wanted to walk those in, they have that level 20 advantage to help with that, but it kind of does look like they're just going to opt to maybe take as much structures as possible here with their level 20 advantage instead. I don't mind the play of trying to walk them in, though, because if they walk them in, even if they get... even if they manage to get only one in, then they would only need one altar if they can still keep one bell tower capped.
Yep, and they're going to play. They're just going to end up playing this Ring Around the Rosy game. You know, 20s aren't online here for Cosmos here, so I'd like to see that. But Coffee is getting some headway done on this top one as well, and they're going to see them slowly rotate onto this one. They may forego this one and maybe try and get the 6 cap.
I just feel like they could have tried to fight a little bit more with their level 20 advantage instead of just giving over that bottom bell tower. Pang going in for that stun on Legacy and is going to go ahead and jump on out of here, but Gazlo a little bit late on this rotation, and they have that wave pushed up underneath their fort here. Jackal already starting the channel, and there we go.
Yep, I was gonna say what he didn't have. Okay, so yeah, so he went bullseye on the stun. If he gets the stun on the E arrow, the sight arrow from Big Bird, I was expecting maybe play the game to maybe get in there and try and delay that if possible. But Coffee back up, not being able to finish the first time, but he has his mindset on this top bell tower, and that will only leave one building left in favor of Cosmos here.
And there's a silence entomb coming out from the Leoric, and that's going to catch Pang in it, and he is going to go down here 1-0 right now. Gazlo all the way top, so that was a 5v4 with that pickup. They now control 2 of those bell towers, making it a little bit harder to get some shots onto the core of UuuuuuuuU, but that death timer now, another 48 seconds until we see Pang spawn back into this game here, and we can imagine that this bottom bell tower is going to go down. They need to be careful. Big Bird getting caught by the stun here. Polymorph coming out as well, and he just deleted from the Imperia's damage. Imperia's damage is insane. Even with
absolutely.
the nerfs, it's still just, ugh.
Yeah, they're just going to need some, I think, just raw numbers at this point to go away. Coffee is going to take the top sapper camp as they work their way up there. We're going to see Leoric try and start that. Oh, he was not going to be able to finish that as well, but he's going to maybe be able to step up here and stop these sappers from going in as shots on the core, as we still see the stagger deaths coming out here now. And this is what we were talking about there. They should have just maybe held bottom, maybe try to run into the sappers now, because now it's a 5v3.
No, I absolutely think that's what they should have done. They had that level 20 talent tier advantage, capped their siege camp, and were holding bottom bell tower. They just needed to sit down there, walk them in, and try to pick off anyone trying to take back that tower while they had the advantage. Pang walking into this bush here, getting absolutely chunked and picked off right away. Hanzo is still down. These altars looking like they're both going to go over to the side of Cosmos here. We just see,
and then they did a great job taking back their towers too. Yeah,
and we just see ever since that level 20 was hit for Cosmos, they've just been staggering deaths the entire time.
Yep, and we are about to be at a 10-6 fight here, but we do see the invade coming out from UuuuuuuuU here. Going to start this one. It's going to get some good damage out onto the bottom bell tower, but we're going to see them. They do see that their main tank, Pang, is still down for 30.
They need to be careful if they're making a play for this one as well. This is just prime time invade for Cosmos here, knowing that Pang isn't up for 25 seconds.
They know that they're there, and they are a little late on the rotation here, so the stun doesn't come out onto Dark Knight. The silence shouldn't come out onto Coffee, the Q, and the Lunar double lead, and down goes Coffee. He did not last very long once inside.
You just really have no business stopping to do that camp down your tank. They tried to peel, but ultimately there's just, especially with like things like Gladiator's medallion in the game now as well, even if you have CC to kind of peel off and run away after capping the camp, was that really worth it? And again, staggered deaths. Like, this is how you lose a Towers of the Doom game in the late game.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Yep. Well, on the side of UuuuuuuuU, as long as no other sappers get run in here, they will go down to 2 here, unless if they lose some more bell towers here, which it looks like they're going to try and get mid here. But currently 4 and 4 shots if they are able to capture both of these points.
Yeah, it does look like Cosmos trying to cap that mid shrine so that if they can manage to get both altars, that'll be game 1 for them here.
They need to at least get one here. Unileska is peeling there. She's going to get dismounted. Nope, she's going to be able to run down to that one. So now that's just the name of the game, is just trying to protect this. The arrow going to come out here, but we're going to see Pang getting silenced into that entomb. And down goes, I'm sorry, not Pang, but Big Bird there a little bit there. That they do trade at least one. They didn't trade. They didn't get it yet. And out comes the Phoenix trying to zone off there. Dark Knight a little bit. Coffee, just go and get on out of there, my man. No need to be here. Nothing to see here.
This game is going right down to the last few shots here, 5-3 in favor of UuuuuuuU here, but they are down their Hanzo right now. Again, that staggered deaths happening ever since level 20s have been hit for them here. It's really hurting them. They are going to make a play back for this mid bell tower, be able to secure this back. They still have control of the bell tower up top on the side of Cosmos here. Cosmos doesn't really seem to care about top. That's usually the way it goes on this map.
Yep, absolutely. We're not going to see Boss up for another 2.5 minutes here checking camps. So the right sapper camp is up now, and we have the other sapper camp up in 10 seconds. But in Cosmos' favor, they do hold both bottom bell towers here.
All right. All 5 members finally up on the same time on the side of UuuuuuU. We might see a team fight happening here. They do have vision dropped on that camp by Big Bird to know that they're on this, and the team's a little bit split. Half of them are sitting by this bell tower, but that siege camp going to get picked up.
I don't know, Coffee up here trying to run these, maybe start a diversion, maybe to alleviate some pressure in the bot lane, because they will have to deal with this, because all 3 of these sappers will end the game in favor of UuuuuuU here. But we see 3 sappers stepping in. It is a 5v4. Legacy going to miss that Q. We're going to see the Phoenix come out as well. Ping getting chunked down out of there. They got to be careful of the silence and tomb here.
This is actually, if they manage to all stay alive here, this is an excellent play, because they need to split resources for this next altar. Either Gazelle walks in those 3 sappers top and wins the game, or they lose the altar and they win and UuuuuuU wins the game. It's actually
so
quite well played. Pang having to pop this avatar, leaping strikes going out onto him, and he's just getting absolutely decimated in this pickup. We have that arrow coming out from Hanzo, but that doesn't quite connect. And instead, even though this
is going to finish Leoric, and in go the 3 shots, and down goes Cosmos. What a
incredible game! Whew, this is the playoff games we all want.
Yeah, I was worried there. I saw Coffee going to take it, and it was going to force their hand. But just with the combo that they were able to do with the 5-man down there in bottom, I was a little worried if they did see him rotate up there. But well played and well done by UuuuuuU.
All right, we get a match 3, and I am super, super hyped for it. Look how close this game was, 12-12 in deaths.
Yeah, that is nuts. And Selexia just doing her best, getting that big old donut on the death, staying safe, trying to keep the team topped off there. But yeah, just great all-around team fights. Both teams showing their wombo combo potential there. And then just the Galaxy brain play from Coffee on the Gasso there, able to trading into the Leo and sealing that deal.
I love watching chat because they're 30 seconds behind, and so now everyone's freaking out about the Gazlo walking the pumpkins at the end.
Yeah, I mean, you were doing such a great job casting in the bottom, but I was just watching that trade up top, and Coffee having the gravel bomb really sealed the deal there for him to get that deal, because they were right on the edge. Leo standing right there, they were aggroing onto Leo. So just props to Dark Knight just on that.
Chat saying he can't believe he got all 3 sappers in top. No, I was kind of surprised too. I guess I should have had my camera up there, but I thought Leoric would at least clear up one of them, potentially. And the fight in mid was kind of going over in favor of Cosmos there. So, dang, what a disappointing way to lose, but in a crazy way to win that game there. We got a game 3, and I'm super pumped.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams are showing why they deserve to be here, given the people in the chat, the game that they came to show up here for. And yeah, I'm excited and just curious and see where we go here. Maybe Curse Hollow. Tomb of the Spider
Is
Queen. Who
there a
knows?
reason you say Cursed Hollow, or?
No, it's just it's just one of those maps. Can be really snowbally, macro heavy. Um, could be something that well, I guess it is. The ball is in um, Cosmos is court here, and given the option game one, they took first pick or hero pick, so they may do that again.
Now, talking about what bands we're going to see going into game 3, I am sure we're going to see the Diablo band stuck to for UuuuuuuuU here. Do you think that we are going to see the Gazlo band coming out from the side of Cosmos?
So I'm cheating here a little bit. I do see what map we are on. We are going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. I think the Respect band can come out. I mean, Gravel Bomb is still disgusting. It's still just a gross alt that you have to worry about constantly. I don't think this is the greatest Gazlo map. Especially he just kind of sits down in the bottom, and maybe he can put turrets up to kind of help defend bot turn in, but then everybody can just go top. So they may ban it just for the team fight potential, but I don't think this is one of his better maps.
Fair enough. All right, let's take a look at these map bans and picks today. Get you guys caught up where we've been, where we're going. Those bans tonight: Hanamura, Dragonshire, banned out by UuuuuuuU. Alterac Pass, Battlefield of Eternity, taken away by Cosmos. Game number 1 on Infernal Shrines. That map picked by UuuuuuuU. The win by Cosmos going into game number 2. Towers of Doom, picked by Cosmo, won by UuuuuuuU. Does that mean if we keep with that trend, UuuuuuuU means they go for the win here, since this map is picked by Cosmos again? Yeah, I'm excited. I love this map too. I think Tomb of the Spider Queen is very exciting. It's a small map. You get to see a lot of fun rotations and picks on teams. Kind of keeps everyone on their on their toes, making sure they're rotating safely and getting the gems and silk that they need to catch.
We got a whoops, some rando popping in here just saying hello. Delaying this, but give us a little bit more time here. So yeah, just looking at the heroes that these teams play throughout the season, their most played heroes, a lot better wave clear heroes on the side of Cosmos. They put a lot of priority into the wave clear, but they might have something up their sleeve if they want to come to this map. And this is another one of those maps where not as swingy as Towers of Doom, but this is another map that is kind of snowbally, where you can it's not a great map to pick to win, try and win a series on.
Yeah, I think it really only starts to snowball if you get 2 back-to-back turn-ins and run with that. But Tomb of the Spider Queen, one of those maps I've actually had some of my longest games on, so I mean, I'm excited. I'm interested to see how it played out. Okay, lobby. Lobby is being made here. We're just waiting for one more member on the side of Cosmos. And there we go. I'm gonna let them know that we're ready when they are. And yeah, I can look to get into game number 3. This series very, very exciting so far. Both games, especially the last one, being extremely close.
Yeah, because I think we're going to see a little bit of a combination of game 1 and game 2 here. A little bit smaller version of the Infernal Shrines, but we have the team fight over these specific areas at the same time, where we're going to see a heavy rotation in the 4-man.
All right, here we are into the draft. 3rd game of the evening. Winner takes it all here. Just while we're kind of loading in to this match and the first picks are coming in terms of the standings for this division, did you have take a look at that?
I did take a peek, but it's off the top of my head. I think UuuuuuuU is, were they 2? Were they second team?
So right now, UuuuuuuU sitting in 3rd, tied for 3rd with Better Than Boss with 20 points. Cosmos in that 5th place position with 15 points. So you know, a little bit of difference between in terms of points with these teams here. So if Cosmos were to win this one, a bit of an upset for UuuuuuuuuU tonight, as Cosmos is the lower seeded team right now.
Yeah, we saw it. I think it was last week. The choke all being being played by UuuuuuuuU. I don't think they actually won with it, but you know, just seeing it one time, maybe something you don't want to deal with, and I don't blame them. You know, choke all getting nerfed here recently as well, but just you know, one of those to deal with. And seeing the same bands coming out on the side of UuuuuuuuU, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, absolutely correct there. And I guess Cosmos thinks the same thing, even after losing that round 2 game here, as they banned KTZ and the Cho'Gall out again.
Anyone order a one-man wrecking crew?
And it's looking a lot like last game here. Like you said, same bands. Gazlo being the first pick here. Now, you know, Gazlo's not going to be in the 4-man, but, you know, because Coffee is taking that Gazlo, they don't have to worry about banning Yuna, Leska's Artanis, but I can see the pickup on the Kael'thas here on that side, and there we go, Silverjack picking up the Kael'thas, and Othot taking the Stukov this time away from Slexia. And I expect maybe the Brightwing pickup. Brightwing does have the spell damage to contend with Kael'thas if he does go Pyroblast. Can save some lives on the side of that, so I expect maybe a Brightwing pickup here, and maybe an ETC or a Diablo pickup, maybe. Oh, I'm sorry, Diablo was banned. That's my fault. Or Johanna.
Yeah, Deckard, Brightwing, Anduin, all things we could... Or sorry, Deckard or Anduin. Yeah, or Brightwing, sorry. Yes, yeah, I said that right. All things that we could see Slexia pick up here, so I don't think she's too worried about locking in that healer just yet, because she has those 3 healers that she can fall back to at the moment, and they've already locked the healer on the side of Cosmos, so it's not like they're going to take any more away. Maybe one with the ban here, which I expect to see, but she still has a few healers in her back pocket to choose from, and I don't even think Anna is one of them.
Now, I have seen Slexia play Anna from time to time, but it is a great combo with Garrosh, the sleep, but I think Polymorph is just as bad. You know, Garrosh getting the flip into the Polymorph, and you can still kind of delete whoever Garrosh decides to throw.
Yeah, I've seen her play Anna as well, but definitely she seems more comfortable on Brightwing or Brightwing or Deckard.
Deckard. And maybe even Anduin. I wouldn't mind that either. It does have the root onto the E. But Leoric not making it through to game 3 here. Respect Band coming out onto Dark Knight, who has been playing a phenomenal game on that Leoric so far.
That Imperious still up and available, though, if they wanted to try an Imperious main tank combo again. But this time they have a Stukov Silence to drop underneath the stun target. But it is going to be the Joanna instead. As well as Lunara getting locked in once again by Kurama.
Alright, so we're looking for a healer and a little bit of damage in the 4-man here.
Oh, this is my jam!
I will not be denied.
So I like the Lucio pickup here to speed boost the Garrosh there to help get some picks along the way. Gul'dan, great wave clear hero. I'm a little worried about maybe the damage coming out to seal the deal on anyone that Garrosh does flip, but I think they'll do well because Garrosh does have a ton of damage later in the team fights for the Grabo Bomb to just kind of dump a ton of damage into that.
Yeah, the other thing too, playing Garrosh into a Lunara can be a little bit annoying because anytime you step forward to try and get those throws, she can just pop a slow onto you and then you can't reach your targets. I think there's more annoying people to play it into, but definitely one of her, Lunara is one that comes to mind.
All right, and it all comes down to this.
All right, I'm excited. What are your thoughts? What draft are you favoring here?
Oh my goodness. I want to say Cosmos. I think even with Lucio, I know Garrosh just has a hard time dealing with poke damage, and Lunara does really well. So does the Kael'thas. You know, Johanna being able to E him off of whatever mount or bush he's into. So I'm favoring that one, but I like the Wombo combo potential coming out from Uwu.
All right, well, let's get into this. On the left-hand side, we have Uwu with Coffee on the Gazlo, Unileska playing the Gul'dan, Slexia on Lucio, Pang playing Garrosh, and Big Bird on Raynor.
All right, and on the red team, we have Othop picking up the Stukov, Kurama on Lunara, Legacy on Johanna, Dark Knight on Zul, and Silver Jackal on Kael'thas, and we have Cosmos.
All right, looking at those level 1 quests right now, Lucio did talent into that party mix, so looking get stacks for that. Gul'dan also going Corruption builds, taking that Echo Corruption at level 1, and Garrosh on the Warbreaker, so lots of talent, or lots of questing talents at level 1 for Cosmos. And of course we have Kael'thas on the side of, or for Uwu, and we have Kael'thas on the side of Cosmos, talenting into the Globe quest for him.
All right, and Coffee is going to be able to pop that medallion already to catch that bottom wave of Soak. Dark Knight immediately went to bottom to start that as well, and maybe going to catch mid, but no, looks like the team's going to rotate back down there. You know, this map is small enough you can do a double rotate on one hero, but I find it a little too risky to put all the gems on at least one hero that isn't like somebody like Johanna or Garrosh.
Yeah, preferably you don't want your tank to have the gems, which can be kind of tricky because you want your tank to be able to zone while you turn in gems, and they can't do that if all the gems are on them. We do have Raynor doing a nice little rotation down here to start the siege camp in the bottom lane. He did talent into Exterminator at level 1, so that's going to help him get these camps out a little bit faster. Yeah, that tends to be the go-to talent for Raynor these days. I think just from what people are kind of discussing is you just get a lot more value out of being able to shred down camps and you know, clear and everything.
Yep, absolutely. It was like, would you like to be good at everything else, or would you like to do a little bit more hero damage?
Yeah, like the basically what I heard somebody tell me the other day is like the amount of hero damage that Raynor does extra by taking Ace in the hole is pretty negligible to the amount of value he gets off of taking Exterminator at level 1. Some people in here cheering from Cosmos, some people in chat cheering from Uwu. Kangaroo, how are you doing? Goku, hope you guys are having a good night.
All right, and so far the macro game coming out from Uwu here in this one, doing a fantastic job. 31 gems turned in for Cosmos already. They look like they want that first turn in as quickly as possible.
Let's have the Lucio talenting into Subwoofer at level 4 as well. So another questing talent picked up there that we can keep our eyes on in this game. Pang going in looking for that toss, but not quite able to find it. All 5 members of Cosmos in this mid lane now. A little bit of damage being dropped onto Pang, but he's going to survive for now as Big Bird steps forward to kind of pressure them off with a little bit of damage here.
And a flip coming out over onto Silver Jackal on the Kael'thas, but not a lot getting done there. You know, onto damage to him. Ping getting low is currently on fire from the Kael'thas living bomb. Kurama is poking from safe reach there. And Zul is up in the mid lane catching Soak, but Big Bird will be there to reciprocate the spider butt collecting.
Definitely the wrong kind of fire you want to be on in this game.
True.
Good Gazlo though. He is just really owning in this bottom lane, continuously shoving this up and getting a little bit of damage onto this wall right now. And does look like Pang going to be getting quite chunked here. Bombs being spread to teammates. You hate to see it. Uwu going to have to back up and heal up a little bit. Turn-ins up and available for both teams here. Legacy looking to drop in 12 gems. And now another 7 more and they will have that first turn-in.
All right, and turn-in does seem wide open in the bottom. We see Dark Knight trying to slowly creep their way over onto that. Vision coming in from Lunar. Coffee's going to be able to catch him in the turning process. Is going to get a turret there, able to delay that a little bit as we see a team fight break up here in the top turn-in.
Yeah, Lunar does have that wisp down below watching that bottom turn in here. Big Bird trying to get some soak of this top lane, grab a couple more gems. This is really just, let's just see down here, Zool trying to turn in 15 gems, but interrupted by Coffee. Coffee's going back to soak that lane, left a turret there to continue to interrupt. He's going to be able to channel that turret in again in just a moment here. But Coffee's going to step up to interrupt it. Legacy is now rotated down to try to get that turn in the bottom as well, making this a 2v1 for Coffee here. And Legacy does find that turn in. First Spider phase going over in favor of Cosmos.
Yeah, and not bad. Great thought process by Coffee there, being able to stall that out as long as he did, but not trying to die or anything to cancel that turn in there. So, you know, right around 5 minutes here, turn-in waves are still even here on the map. We might see 1 or 2 walls go down here. So not bad, but we will look for the turn-in, and, you know, the play is, I think, maybe just hold off till 10 if you can to get a turn-in.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're over on the side of UuuuuuuuU now, you definitely want to get that level 10s before trying to turn in. Does look like there's a play to siege down this mid fort. You know, typically teams like to go for that boss lane right away to open that up for a potential boss play in the future. But Cosmos deciding to push in with mid here. They are going to take down that healing fountain as well as a pick onto Gul'dan. And this is first blood. 6 minutes into the game.
Yeah, 6 minutes, level 10 here, but I do like the mid. I like pushing mid here. They actually were successful in getting this fort down here, which means that, you know, forever until the other fort goes down in the mid lane, that Cosmos will have kind of the advantage with vision here.
They're even getting pretty decent damage on this front wall already. Almost managed to take down a tower. The health has got to be like nothing left on this because of that poison damage. Like... All right, turn-in now up and available for UuuuuuuU here. They only need 6 gems turned in. Big Bird and Slexia both attempting to do that right now, and I think that's going to be done here.
Yep, and with no deaths, I mean, like you said, they did lose that whole fort mid and part of that key wall there, but the wave is still pushed out about mid.
Look at this toss on a Kale toss here.
Goes down.
Sorry. A little bit of bombs left behind to spread some damage here, but they get that pick on a Kael'thas, and this is a great opportunity for UuuuuuuU to try and get a little bit more of an advantage here, and now have that Spider to push down this top fort, down a member on the side of Cosmos for the defense here. Level 10's online now, too, if we wanted to go over those real quickly. We do have Lucio taking Sound Barrier, Hyperion coming out from the Raynor, Gravel Bomb from the Gazlo, Horrify from the Gul'dan, and we already saw the Warlord's Challenge being used by Garrosh here, coming back up in about 13 seconds. What do we have going over on the side of Cosmos, Daxx?
All right, on the side of Cosmos, we see Flailing Swipe, we see Leaping Strike, Blessed Shield, Poison Nova, and Pyroblast here. But no deaths coming out here from UuuuuuU, which is good because they will have the second turn in here. Unfortunately, Big Bird was left to clear mid there a little bit. He is going to use Hyperion down here with Coffee. They're going to take a fort. They're trading 1 for 1 here. It is in the bot lane, but be careful here a little bit because they do have that double turn in.
All right, that bottom fort is going to fall. It does look like UuuuuuU positioning to get a turn in right away. Cosmos also trying to do the same thing, but a little bit late on the rotation to get the turn in. So this is going to go over to UuuuuuU.
That was a mad dash for the turn in there, yeah, which is really detrimental here. So bot lane is extremely pushed out. We'll see Zool rotate down there to push that back in favor as we see all members of UuuuuuU here in the mid. And I was wondering if they're going to push that down there, but it looks like they're going to try their hand up here. In the top lane, like you said, putting some pressure up here in this boss lane.
Just wanted to kind of check in with those quest talents before anything major happens here. Lucio did finish out his party mix. Right now, Gul'dan sitting at the 18 of 40 stacks needed on his Echoed Corruption to finish out that quest. Garrosh sitting at 12 of the 15 stacks on his Q to finish out Warbreaker. On the side of Cosmos, Kael'thas finishes Globe Quest, currently at 32 globes right now. It's pretty often you see Kael'thas stack pretty hard on the globes on this map. We have a bit of a fight here.
They're going to come out onto Oddthought. Oddthought is going to taunt it in the back line, and down goes Stukov, what a lucky pick there. And flipped by Panker, who's kind of choked down there a little bit here.
Yeah, they did manage to get this front wall down on the top keep. But it's looking a little risky to stick around here. Here's a gravel bomb coming out from Jazzalene, but it doesn't connect onto any members of Cosmos. And now the bombs from Kael'Thas being spread around, and the pyro bomb coming out as well. They're gonna get that pick onto Raynor, and now UuuuuuuuuU on the retreat. Turn in still up and available for Cosmos here, and it does look like they're gonna make a play
here. They do have turn-in and a significant amount of gems for the turn-in here, but they're just going to go right for the turn-in and get some of these lanes pushed out. You know, death timers pre-16 aren't that long enough, which is a good play by Cosmos there as well.
Yeah, the thing is doing a boss there is like you're saying, the death timer is quite low, so it'd be very risky for them. Pang going to throw the Joanna away, allow the team just enough time to cap this bruiser camp before the invade here. And now they're kind of caught in a little bit of a bad position here. Lunara taking quite a bit of damage, but able to back up here. Stukov healing up the team, and now they're ready for this siege with the spiders. But yeah, as you're saying, if they did the boss fight there, Big Bird back up on the Raynor to potentially, you know, do an invade on the boss or take a fight right after and deny them the turn-in with the boss. All right, they are going to siege in top here, try to open up this boss lane. They have that fountain down now, making work of this fort here.
Yep, I think they just let this one go. Don't lose any deaths here. You know, almost neck and neck on kills and experience here. I mean, Coffee is showing down in the bot lane, so if they want to make a push here, it's now with this Web Weaver. But we see the Hyperion kind of come out here. Unstoppable getting popped by Pang to make sure he doesn't get locked down into anything. But Hyperion doing some work onto that last Web Weaver there, and down it goes with just a little bit of damage out onto that wall. But we're going to see the rotation come onto Coffee here. Let's see if they do the counter engage. Ping's going to come out here, but Pang is stepping up pretty far. Maybe going to get the toss onto Lunara. Not quick enough. And nice wiggles from Coffee to get out of there.
Here he goes. Nice open area to get some throws here. He is stepping forward, trying to find it. But unfortunately, just absolutely getting decimated in the process. Pang does fall on the garage here. Pyro coming out, connecting onto Coffee. A couple members standing in range of it to take that damage in the area here. And now 4 members down on the side of UuuuuuuuU.
And that was about all the gems but 5 on the side of UuuuuuuU going down there. So, you know, what a combo there. Just the condemn coming out from the Johanna, and, you know, 3 members just eating that Pyroblast, and the swipes coming out from the Zul there.
So they're going to push in this mid, try to maybe secure a keep while these deaths are occurring on the side of UuuuuuuU, but pretty short timers still. They're up in about 10 seconds to defend this. Gul'dan's still alive to kind of clear up the wave at a safe distance as well. That boss still up and available. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with this turn or with these kills, because at this point it's a bit late to start boss. They don't quite have enough to get the turn in that they need, and that bruiser camp didn't even get capped. So, or even like the siege camp in the bottom.
Yeah, but actually, we're going to see UuuuuuuU. They're scoping it out. They may rotate on this. They're going to give maybe a turn-in for the boss. So here we go. Things that come out for onto that. But like you said, just taking their deal over time with an advantage here, which
they get this.
Off when they're with the turn
Cosmos
for them.
Cosmos is on the bruiser camp. They're not coming anywhere near, which means this turn-in.
Nope.
This is a really nice play by UuuuuuuU to recognize they had time to do this, to sneak in here. I'm not sure that Cosmos even realized that that's where they were. So this means Cosmo is going to spend this turn-in cleaning up that boss in the top lane while UuuuuuuU cleans up the spiders, and kind of just a turn-in wasted almost.
Yeah, I mean, the boss pickup was, like you said, was good. I mean, bot and mid lanes are pushed out, so that's where they will be able to put all of their focus onto clearing this out. So we're back to square one here. You know, only 1 fort, you know, difference. Actually, it's kind of tied structurally, but we are seeing this boss just chunk this top keep down about half health there, as we see the rest of Cosmos rotate up here. Maybe, you know, the top weaver is doing pretty well here as it marches onto the top keep.
They do need to be a bit careful though, because all 5 members of Cosmos making the rotation into top lane to try and get some siege damage done here. We do have Gul'dan and the Garrosh in that bottom lane trying to clear that. Hyperion is going to come out to help defend this keep here. We just have to see how much value can they get with what's left of the spider. I think that's going to be it, though.
All right, and UuuuuuuuuuU is going to show up to join the party here. And with that turn in there and 4 extra kills, Cosmos does take the edge here into the EXP lead. And as we see both teams just trying to make their way to 20.
Bruiser camp up and available for UuuuuuuuU, so they're going to go ahead and grab that now. It does look like Cosmos want to make a play for this Siege Giant, maybe even secure this bottom fort. Lunara stepping up to get some poison damage up onto that. Not quite finishing it out, but it'll just be a moment until they do have this fort down in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I like to play to push up the top lane there a little bit. I mean, they're going to have to, Cosmos is going to have to deal with this camp, but, you know, just maybe trading a fort for a top keep here if they can get this pushed out and delay the rotations.
I will say, you know, right now, Cosmos in a position to hit level 20s first, so UuuuuuuuU kind of needs to look to try and get the fight. I'm kind of surprised to see Cosmos going for the rotation here, knowing that they could wait and get 20s first, but Blessed Shield coming out, connecting onto the Garrosh and the Gul'dan. We have the shield pop by Lucio to try and save them, but Gul'dan getting quite chunked here, Pyro connecting onto him. He is going to get picked off. We have that corruption finish now by UuuuuuuuU, but a 1-for-0 in favor of Cosmos here. Now we're waiting another 45 seconds before the tank is back up for the side of UuuuuuuU. Oh my goodness, we have a huge raid coming from Nexus Gaming Series. 102 people. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope the games were good over on the NGS channel tonight, because they sure are spicy on this one.
Yeah, and all that going on, you know, 1-for-0 trade, 3 ults on each side, and still not level 20 for Cosmos here as they are trying to make a play on a keep here to open up a win condition if they can.
10 seconds till Garrosh is back in this, but by that point, we're going to see Cosmos have that level 20s come online.
Yeah, but still no turning. I mean, unfortunately, all of their lanes are pushed out here, which is, you know, that's where the objective is. Let's see. Let's check here. Boss is up in a minute and a half. Bruiser camp for their side is 30 seconds. Bruiser for UuuuuuuU side just taken, and bot camp up and down in bot lane. So now it's just up to UuuuuuuU and just being patient and letting that XP come to them.
Yeah, and in turn-in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They are on the defensive. They can safely soak the XP if they can, and like I said, get those spider butts. So then any picks that they can get, they can turn into an advantage.
Look at Pang's positioning here. He's like trying to go on the flank there, trying to find a toss. It's still a little scary because they don't have that level 20s online yet, but they are positioning themselves far enough back, trying to avoid another Blessed Shield combo mistake here.
Oh, Karama's getting, so there's a Blessed Shield leap coming out onto, and the silence, Unstoppable getting popped, but the toss coming out onto Odd Thought. Pang is going to take somebody with him if he does go down. We'll see the Alfurion coming out, but the Graviton coming down to be able to seal the deal onto Lunara and the Stukov. Down goes Pang, but look at that. He did trade his own life 1 for 2 there and seal the deal. 55 gems in favor of UuuuuuuU here, and 37 gems turned in on the side of Cosmos. They're going to try and turn in what they can.
3 more gems.
What a play there.
3 more gems needed for UuuuuuuU to get the turn in here. They can get that mid, they can get it top, but I think they should stay together. They did get a 2-for-1 here in that last team fight.
See, it's so hard because Coffee has 20 of the gems there. Boss is up now. 3 gems, like I said, not needed. But they may forego the boss here and just get turned in, not rotating up there enough. And we may see the last team fight here of this match here.
They still need to be a little bit careful, though, because just the way people are going to spawn in, everybody's coming up at the same time, and they're going to be well over onto Cosmos' side of the map with these spiders. So they need to be careful that they're keeping an eye of when Stukov and Lunara are up and they don't end up taking a 5v4 without their tank.
All right, Gravel Bomb is up. We're going to see Sound Barrier up again, and I will say Slexia's Sound Barriers have been on absolute point this game. Well timed.
See, this is what I mean. Garrosh still all the way back in UuuuuuU's base. Blessed Shield coming out, connecting onto the Raynor and the Gul'dan. We have that shield being dropped by the Lucio, but unfortunately didn't quite connect onto Gul'dan, and Gul'dan is going to fall here. They managed to take that keep, though, but, you know, 1 member down on the side of UuuuuuU. I don't think they're going to get much more here. They just needed to be a little more patient and wait for a tank to be with them for that push, I think.
Yeah, I think that was almost like a turn-in to prevent, you know, their turn-in. But yeah, as these lanes push into Cosmos, they will have a turn-in after this, and they should have it cleaned up here. So they may have to do their defense without Leska here for 30 seconds.
A reprieve.
All right. And Cosmos still doesn't quite have turn in, but they're very close to having it online. They are going to make that boss call here. UuuuuuuuuuU back up in about 10 seconds now. Bruiser camp capped by UuuuuuuuU. This boss sitting at half health, but it doesn't look like UuuuuuuuU is going to make a play to defend this. Instead, they're going to grab all the camps on the map, so at least they have pressure in other lanes. Got a couple Katas heading towards the core of Cosmos right now. We're just going to have to see what they decide to do with this. If they're going to go for the push with boss, or if they're just going to let the boss do its own thing and defend their lanes.
Yeah, they should have enough in the bot lane with all the spider butts to get the turn in. They're going to safely try and turn in while they can, while the rest, or I'm sorry, UuuuuuuU goes up here to defend this. And I think we're going to head, this game's going to end up ending the same way as the last one did.
Do you remember I said at the start of this game, I said, Tomb of the Spider Queen, yeah, sometimes you can kind of have a little bit of a steamroll kind of game, but Tomb of the Spider Queen, one of the maps that I've had the longest games on, and that's what we're kind of starting to see happen here.
All right, and bot, mid is crashing about in the midpoint. Top lane is in favor of UuuuuuuU there a little bit, and they just even the odds down here in bot lane. So all three keeps alive and healthy. Mid might be the play here for Cosmos as they look for this turn in, as they finally have enough of the gems to turn in.
And UuuuuuUU is not going to give this turn in over for free, though. They are keeping an eye on what's going on around these turn in points. Pang is stepping forward, looking to get a toss, but unfortunately, Joanna was the target there, so threw him back away from the team. All the ults up and available for both these teams to use.
Yep, and if they did hit the tab, they do know that Zul has the turn in for the team here to try and keep an eye on him. Pang is going to have to step up and get a Q on this, but it might be the end of his set. We're see Legacy stepping up, not going to be able to pop any condemn or anything like that, but great damage coming out there. But seeing Pang in the top lane, he's just engaged on the back line, and beautiful sound barrier coming out, and it should be enough to save Coffee.
Yeah, Coffee still has that gravel bomb to use here, managing to stay alive. So if he can continue to live here, Pang managing to get some self-heals up on that top lane to keep himself alive. They do manage to stall this turn in for now. No picks. I can't believe no one went down in that fight. We saw lots of Gladiator's medallions being popped to avoid deaths.
Yeah, 3 for 4, and Gravo Bomb is still available. So, I mean, that could make or break this next team fight here. Like you said, all of the medallions being popped, not being able to get out of this Gravo Bomb here. So let's see where Coffee decides to position himself, maybe put some turrets up here, which he's going to do to kind of help cancel this turn in.
I can't imagine the stress of being on these teams right now. You're in game 3 so late in a series. Whichever team fight wins is going to win this next game and the series for this playoff. Legacy looking like he might be in a little bit of trouble. Pops his iron skin here to go unstoppable. He still has his Gladiator's medallion past that to even keep him alive if he needed to use it, but he was able to get out of there without any issue. That means
That
look at
was
top.
Close.
Turn in starting to happen here. Zool managing to find that for his team. Gul'dan looking to try and get that pick. Lunara thrown into the back line here. Silence coming out from the Stukov. A ton of damage being dumped from the Poison Nova, but Pang looking like he might be in a little bit of trouble. Unfortunately, they managed to get that pick onto Zool before this these spiders spawn in there. So they are going to be able to defend this for now, 5v4.
Yeah, great defense coming out from UuuuuuU there. Getting the pick there, so it's a little less pressure on the side, and kind of feeling mutual for Cosmos there. Like, hey, what? It's not so bad. We have the lanes pushing out in our favor here. We did only lose one, and we can kind of push out here a little bit.
Yeah. So the spiders in this time spawning pretty far back onto the side of Cosmos here, so a little bit easier for UuuuuuU to clean these up. This
And
game's so tense.
I know it is. And I was to say, the upgrade at 20 is just so stupid on Gazelle because he has Gravel Bomb again. He has Gravel Bomb again already, and I swear we just saw it 10 seconds ago.
All right. Cosmos pushing in that top lane right now. Zool's still down, so this is still going to be a 4v5. Well, 4v4 for now as Gul'dan is in that bottom lane clearing up the spider down there. But the spider in top lane already quite low. Not sure if they can get much value off of that. If they can at least manage to get this keep, though. Here's a Blessed Shield coming out, connecting onto the Garrosh, and he's just getting absolutely melted here. Gravel Bomb coming out. That's going to connect onto Lunara. Can they get the counter pick? Pyro comes out. That's going to hit Big Bird, but the shield from the Lucio sound barrier going to be able to keep him pretty high health here. They need to be careful. This is now a 5v4 in favor of Cosmos. And that's going to be the Rainer getting picked off as well. The Horrify coming out from Gul'dan. Poison Nova used, but it 2 for nothing in favor of Cosmos. And this is where they might just call to push and end this game here.
Yeah, lanes are slowly crashing over here now after that turn-in on the side of Cosmos here. So we will see, you know, the periodic catapults starting to do their work. So even if they do get a solid defense here, structurally wise, they are in grave danger. But we're seeing Gravel Bomb up here again, I swear, 3 times in the past 5 minutes, and they are all clumped right there. Would be a perfect time for a Gravel Bomb.
Oh, in the spider wave? Oh, that would have been real juicy. There's that Blessed Shield coming out, though. That's going to catch Coffee. He's going to drop that Gravel Bomb, but he's not going to catch any members in it. More just there to kind of peel for himself, but it doesn't quite work out. Gazlo does go down. Garrosh and Gul'dan back up now for the defense here. Or should Garrosh and Rainer's coming in now in just a second for the defense, I should say.
50 seconds on Coffee. They did get that pick. I expect them to maybe just make a play here for the boss. This boss will walk on core, and then here we go.
All right, it does look like UuuuuuuuU is aware of what's happening, and they are walking in to take a look at this
Now they do have Horrify up, they do have Sound Barrier up, they're going to get the double flip onto them. Out comes the Hyperion, the Fear coming out onto the Zul. Zul is getting chased and sucked into the back line there, and Pang is low, but he's getting those W's, he's getting all the stuns out onto the team. The Flailing Swipe coming out to disengage. Down goes Pang. That is a 1-for-3 trade in favor of Cosmos here, and Legacy is going to go down as well from all the poison damage. Needed the heal from Odd Thought, and unfortunately he wanted to peel back for that boss, but 3 members still alive to the 2 here, and great defense, I guess. You know, being down 1 and, you know, just taking a fight there on that boss.
Yeah, 3 members up now on both sides of the team here, so they can't do that boss. They're just looking to dump what gems they have into the turn-in. They do have bruiser camps up on both sides, and now that keep taken from the side of UuuuuuuU means both Cosmos and UuuuuuU's lanes will be spawning Katas in that top lane.
Man, all right, and as we see the sneaky boss play coming in, Odd Thought is stepping up here.
This one's not so sneaky this time, though. I'm a little bit worried. Odd Thought is walking in here to take a peek.
Poison is up here as well. Here comes Zul, but he's a little far behind. They don't have the front line needed. We do have Gravel Bomb available.
Oh my god.
And Lucio is back.
Leaping Strike coming out from the Lunara, the Gravel Bomb coming out from the Gazlo. They're going to catch all 3 members there. They get the pick onto the Stukov and the Lunara, and down goes the Kael'thas as well. This boss is walking to core. They did it. 3 members on boss for the win here, if they can manage to find it, but I think they have this one.
I feel so bad. That was a Horrify into a tornado, and whoever, I didn't even see who it was. It was either Kael'thas or Lunara, was just walking around in circles there. And as we see the core push here, 3 members down for 40 seconds. Big Bird is not going to be here. GG's coming out from Cosmos as we see them step up here. The boss is wailing away, chunking down this shielding on the core, and we are down at 95% and slowly falling. Flip coming out, the taunt coming out on to...
What a turnaround here.
Wow, what a game. Number 3.
That is going to be...
And well played.
Yeah, series going over to UuuuuuuU here, taking it 2-1. Oh my goodness. I mean, we talked about how this map could snowball, and I said, you know, this map I've seen go as one of the longer maps, and that's what we saw here. 28 minutes, 19-second game, 11-15 in deaths. Holy... these last 2 games between Cosmos and UuuuuuU have really just come down to, like, so close. Like, Towers of Doom, for those of you that weren't here on the Towers of Doom game, the score at the end of it was, like, what?
5 to 3?
5 to 3, and they snuck in some sappers backdoor. Like, same... It was just incredible to watch. That was such a good series. I'm so glad we got to cast this one tonight, Daxx.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is kind of the momentum, right? We said earlier that, you know, Cosmos 2-0'd UuuuuuuU here earlier in the season, and, you know, it was looking kind of grim. Game 1 was, I don't want to say handily won, but they won pretty convincingly game 1. And, you know, that crazy comeback there in Game 2, and then just the all-out brawl team fight in the boss pit there for them, that, you know, this could be just a good amount of momentum for UuuuuuU here into the playoffs.
Let's jump on over into the NGS channels and get an interview with UuuuuuuuuU.
Yeah, we might as well just ask him.
Yeah. All right, let me just hit up Slex
Yep.
if she's not already joining.
Hello?
There we go.
Ew!
Holy, okay. How are you feeling after those last two games? Because they were so incredibly close, I would be on edge right now.
Was well, if you can't tell, my voice is just blown out because when I died, I was trying to speed away because my sound barrier was put on cooldown twice in that one boss. And so I was trying to speed away so I could, you know, use my ult, and I couldn't get away fast enough. I didn't have E or anything. And then when they were going for boss and they got that, I was screaming, yes, so loud. Yuna started crying. You know, we weren't trying to there, like at the end, like, stay humble. We don't know if we won or not, and we ended up winning. I don't know if you can tell in this interview, but I'm talking a lot with my hands. But we fought hard, and so did Cosmos. So I am feeling pumped that we won that. Absolutely pumped.
Okay, I want to talk about your comms at two moments in tonight's series. First, on Towers of Doom, the last fight, you had Coffee pushing in sappers in the top lane, the rest of you fighting over the altar down in mid. What were comms like then?
We just knew that they had a win condition, and so did we. Our comms were, Coffee's like, I'm just gonna get that camp and push those in, and we're like, okay, and we were like, we'll defend, and it was like essentially the same kind of screaming scenario. You know what I mean?
Now, who made the call for the boss on that last map on Tomb?
I think it was a collective thing that it was kind of like, yeah, we can do it. We can do it. Because they were showing bot, and I think Big Bird did. But we all agree.
Go ahead.
No, are you talking about that boss?
Yeah.
The
Oh,
last
yeah.
one?
Yeah. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, it's not only you guys could do it, but you also had the tools in your kit to deny them from getting onto the point with your Horrify coming up in a few seconds and the Gazlo grab bomb.
Yeah.
So we were all sitting just like, they're going to do it. Oh my goodness. We were kind of freaking out on the caster side as well. So as well as chat. I don't know if you've seen chat.
No, we all collectively blacked out. I think because I don't know if you could tell, but Cosmos has really stepped their game up. Last time we played, they fought us on towers, and it was a close game too. So going there was no surprise, really. But just how even it was throughout the series really shows how much dedication and practice they put into their teamwork. So I have to commend them for that.
Can we talk about your bans in game number 1? You guys banned out Gazlo, Diva, and Imperius. I was really surprised not to see the Diablo ban coming out, as I think most people are aware Legacy's Diablo quite terrifying.
Legacy and I go way back, and I mentioned this in our last interview. He's actually going to be here in Vegas this week, and I think he owes me dinner. Social distance dinner, socially distanced. But you know, his Diablo's terrifying. The thing is that we knew they wanted to main tank Imperius, so we didn't want to deal with that. And then we eventually dealt with it, you know? And we had to deal with his Diablo, so it's like, we'd rather deal with the main tank Imperius. Also, just knowing his playstyle, we knew that we could punish him for his overextending and whatnot, so we did.
All right. Dax, you have some questions here?
Actually, I don't have any questions. I don't want to poke and prod you. I know how intense that was, but just I want to make a point. I think I've mentioned it a handful of times, at least in game number 3 there, that your Lucio, your sound barriers were on point. Saved a lot of team fights for you guys, and just wanted to commend you.
Thank you. The one at the keep though at top, when we got Blessed shielded on that like corner of that little structure piece, tilted me beyond measure. I didn't catch Yuna in it, but I appreciate that. I only see the negative sometimes in what I do, so I appreciate you calling that out.
Can I ask? We've seen a lot of Brightwing and I think maybe even Deckard coming out from you this season in
Yeah.
NGS, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you're playing Stukov and Lucio in the playoffs. What's going on there?
I felt like with their Lunara, I could just play Lucio and kind of counteract what she was trying to do. Also, I played Stukov in the Storm League today, like for the first time, and decided to bring him into the playoffs tonight.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right. There we
was
go.
fun. It was fun.
Let's get into some shout outs, Lex. Go ahead. Take it away.
First shout out to Imran for stepping in for game 1. We love you. Thank you for your sucky suck on Gul'dan. Second shout out to everyone else on the team. You know who you are in chat. Third shout out to everyone in chat for being here and supporting us throughout this journey. We made it through the playoffs. Next is the semifinals. Best of 5. Holy moly. And final shout out will be to you guys for casting. But we're super pumped to have won. And just shout out to Cosmos above all for the excellent showing tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely a pleasure to cast these games here tonight and watch you two teams battle it out. You had us on the edge of our seats the entire time, both your teams, so well played to both of you. Congrats to UuuuuuuuU. Best of luck in the rest of the playoff semifinals going forward, and have a fantastic rest of your night.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's get Daxx back up here. We'll wrap this up, and I'll see if we have any more NGS games going on to send you guys on over to end the night off. Whew, that was an exciting series. Feel like I can finally unclench my jaw and fists now.
Yeah, I was doing my best not to try and wake. I am an East Coaster, so I was trying my best not to wake anybody else up in my house since it is now 12:30 in the morning here on the East Coast.
Let me just take a quick peek here and see who's still streaming tonight to send you guys on over to. But we're gonna wrap it up here. Daxx, maybe you can shout yourself out, let the viewers know where they can find you.
Sure, absolutely. Best place to find me currently is probably Daxx _HOTS on Twitter. Usually posting a bunch of stuff in there. The NGS Discord, not currently streaming, but hopefully, soon TM. But I will mention here that UuuuuuuU is looking to face either Lurk Patrol or Phoenix Rising Emerald. Not sure if that game looks like that game is being played tomorrow night. So the winner of that game will get to play UuuuuuuU, and I'm looking forward to that game later on.
All right. In terms of what's going on with me the rest of this week, tomorrow I will be casting another Div B West game, Bronze 6 taking on Soak Every Lane. Bronze 6 currently seated in second place in B West Division. Hang on, let me check Soak Every Lane's. I had it up, but now I forgot. So I gotta open it again. Just a moment.
Yep, Bronze 6. I have it. I actually the same division, so I do have it pulled up here. So it is 2 and 7 seed match.
Yes. So yeah, 2nd and 7th seed. So that'll be casted here tomorrow at 8 p.m. Pacific time if you want to catch that game between Bronze 6 and Soak Every Lane. Same division, so these teams will maybe eventually be facing each other off, the winners of tonight's and tomorrow night's games. In terms of just general, my channel, welcome if you're new here. I appreciate you guys all stopping by, the big raids and hosts tonight. If you enjoy casted Heroes of the Storm games, that's pretty much all I do these days. You can catch me streaming, Monday through Sunday, depending on what NGS games are up and available in the evenings here. Other than that, we're going to raid you on over here to Arcane. They are casting some more HOTS here. NGS Division C playoffs.
They will be actually casting my playoff match tomorrow evening.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, good luck on your playoffs too. You guys have been doing
Thank
pretty
you,
decent
thank
in
you.
your division, right?
Yes, we're actually the 2 seed, and we're looking forward to it. Just try and nail down a few things here that we've been working on throughout the season. But just looking to have fun and hopefully put on a show as good as we saw tonight.
All right. Well, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. Make sure you hit that follow button. If you like those casted Heroes of the Storm games, you're in the right place. So don't forget to click that heart. And I will see you guys again tomorrow at 8 p.m. Pacific time for that Division B West game. Thank you so much again, Daxx, for joining me. And congrats once again to UuuuuuuuuU for the win tonight, 2-1. Have yourselves a fantastic rest of your week, and good night.